if you apply for another head coaching job. Good defense there from Alionak, forcing the miss, and now Dubai have got numbers, 5 on 4, but then Alionak just drives into trouble. And here comes Barcelona on the fast break. Guille down the lane, good defense from the number 12, Doucouré, but he had 3 fouls in the first half, and he's picked up his 4th inside a minute. So I expect Coach Rimatz may give him a break. See, the defense is good. He goes up straight, but then he leans down and chases the ball.
Yes, that's again coming back to the little details. He's done a great job on help defense, but jumping straight up and don't bring the hands down. That's one thing that all these young guys need to learn. Once you bring your hands down, it's an automatic foul.
But just to remind people that you've got somebody charging down the lane at you, Massamba Guille, on the drive. The last thing your brain is telling you to do is just stand in front of him and take a charge, right? So this is all part of the learning process. That's why we play these competitions. You think some of the great players that have laced up in the next generation tournament, the likes of Luka Doncic, Victor Wembanyama, of course, just to name a pair. Shot clock running down. Dubai looking for the first points of the second half. The 3-pointer is off. Good hustle from Mohamed Keita. Barcelona transition offense. Debone double teamed in the low post. Can he get rid of the ball, find the open man? Eventually they do, and that turnaround jump shot is finished. That's a nice move by Mohamed Keita. His first points of the game, and the first points of the second half. The lead goes to 37. Turnover from Dubai. And there the foul in the open floor. Apenas Azuelas halting the action. Daniel Gonzalez was looking to run the fast break for Barcelona. They seem to have boundless energy at this age, though. Do they get tired? 16, 17?
Well, they're really, especially these kind of finals, you can't really get tired. You prepare maybe all season for these kind of games, and these are the times that you can't really deal with fatigue or exhaustion, so you just got to go all out there and try to do your best. You can't really use tiredness as an excuse in these games.
Well, no tiredness there. Mohamed Debone with the rejection. And then Bandaka thinking better of trying to take him on again and tries to get the pass inside. Instead he turns it over. Debone, we talk about, he gets up so quick, he elevates. And you put that on top of his length. 5 block shots in the game now for Barcelona. Barcelona stuttering on offense a little bit to start this third period. Oh, there's hop, skip, and a foul. There's Miguel Gonzalez. Dances down the lane. Broken play. Takes matters into his own hands. Skips through. Foul is called and he will go to the free throw line. Barcelona were 13 of 17 at the free throw line in the first half. Almost for Coach Marin, it's got to be almost a perfect balance. 8 of 9 3-point shooting, 14 of 25 from 2, getting a lot of free throws, so that means you're attacking the basket and shooting jump shots and playing pretty good defense, and he conceded 26 points so far.
I'm sure he's really happy the way his team handles this first game of the finals. But glad to see him, still wants more from his players, which is great, because these kind of finals, you can't never relax. There are 8 great teams in this finals, and anything can happen, so there's no time for relaxation.
Indeed, anything does happen, as Miguel Bandaka gets the layup. And there's a first 3-point play of the game.
Well, it's offensive foul, I think.
I think the referee's called that and one. He's called a blocking foul. Wow. Tomislav Vukovic taking the elbow to the face from Mohamed Keita. You can see why he's called a block. Yes, he gets him with the elbow, but maybe his feet weren't quite set. And it's one of those times when you get a foul because your face got in the way of the other player's arm. Not the best way to pick up a foul, but Coach Rimac is having a chat with the officials to debate whether or not there could have been an offensive foul. Officiating never something you fancied? Picking up a whistle?
You know, players make mistakes on the court, and obviously they're human beings, referees as well, they make mistakes, so it's something that you can't really get stuck with or rely on. You know, anything can happen on the court, so you just got to accept the fact, whatever they call. Obviously, with the adrenaline stuff, you know, you just sometimes don't accept the calls, but it is what it is. You just got to go to the next play and focus on the next play.
Well, that's what players have to do, is to learn. You know, I've been around a long time in this basketball game, and I've yet to see a referee to say, oh, I'm sorry, that was not a foul. I'm going to wave it off. Once they've called the foul, it's not a reviewable play. You can't change the call. You have to be happy about it, but there's no point losing any sleep over it. Barcelona in possession, leading by 41 points. Offensive rebound off the miss by Gonzalez. And triggers the offense again. Down low. Mohamed Keita, who's been pretty dominant, scoring the ball at the start of this third quarter. Misses that shot though. And Alyanak gets the defensive rebound, and here comes Dubai looking to get something on the break. Manolopoulos swings the ball on. All the Dubai players on the exterior. Welves drives down the lane. I think that's going to be a foul. Looks like that was called on Debone. Debone not moving his feet there. Welves draws the foul. And it should be a sideline possession. He was not in the act of shooting. There's got to be a natural drop-off intensity-wise from Barcelona when you've got a 40-point lead at halftime, 15 minutes in the locker room, looking at the stat sheet, looking how great I am. So the challenge, again, this is part of the learning process, right, is to how to bring yourself back to that same level of intensity you had in the first 20 minutes.
Definitely. The game is 40 minutes, so you can be up or down, doesn't matter. You just got to stay focused and work the game for 40 minutes. It's just one thing that these kids need to learn, because once they get to high level, you know, the games won't be this, you know, the difference of it's not going to be like this, so they got to get used to it.
But also, as the intensity increases in your career, it's not just, you know, the slogan for the Euroleague is every game matters. Every play matters sometimes. You cannot afford to have a sloppy defensive play. That will buy you a seat on the bench for the rest of the game sometimes.
Definitely. Each possession, each ball has its own value. So, again, you got to take care of the ball, and you got to take not good shots but great shots on offense. You know, each possession matters.
Once the players have tucked their shirts in properly, we'll get back underway. It'll be baseline possession for Barcelona. Currently lead the game by 41 points. Mohamed Debone inbound to Mo Keita. He takes off on the baseline. They're looking to get something in the paint instead. They try to kick through and turn him over. Gonzalez has the ball stolen away. Both teams with 8 steals now. Dubai being held to just 2 points so far here at the start of the third period. So any questions about the intensity of Barcelona have been answered. They're leading this third period by 11 points to 2. And they force another turnover. And here they come. Gonzalez on the wing. Uses the high screen from Debone. He dives to the basket, does not receive the ball. Dubai, I have to say their defense man-to-man has been a little less energetic here in the third period. This man here, Mohamed Keita, though, has been definitely raising the intensity. Gets another offensive rebound. They missed the stick back. In transition, Marinopoulos goes to the basket with no fear. but Manolopoulos can't convert. And then at the other end, the deuce is converted. Miguel Gonzalez gets his first field goal of the game. Dubai basketball 28, Barcelona 71. Midway through the third period. This Group A action in the Adidas Next Generation Euroleague Finals. We're in Abu Dhabi for 2025. This is the warm-up action for the Turkish Airlines Euroleague Final Four. What a Final Four we have in process. Manolopoulos with a steal. And he shows his defensive nous, continues to be aggressive. He gets the field goal. He's got 3 steals in the game so far, Manolopoulos. His team trailed by 41 points. Barcelona, shot clock goes under 10. GA makes the 3. Is there anybody attention to the three-point shooting? They are now 9 of 11.
Again, great execution on offense. They share the ball, pass the ball, from one side to other side until they find the open shot. So great execution by Barcelona.
Well, the question mark about Barcelona is whether they could sustain intensity for 40 minutes, certainly showing that. They did win their qualification tournament, but it was a tight one. But you have to say, it's certainly been an impressive start for them here. Massamba Gueye becomes the third player in double figures in the game. He goes to 12 points. That's what you call intimidation defense, right?
Yes, definitely. You have that threat underneath. And he already had 2 blocks, the Bone, and it's hard to finish around him now.
Well, Bandaka thought about it,
yeah,
and then used the rim to protect the ball, but the rim stopped him from scoring. Well, I think we're going to have a substitution. Daniel Gonzalez was asking the referee to halt the game. We've got a hamstring problem by the look of things. He will get to take a seat on the bench. Yeah, Bandaka thinks about it and says, oh, no, I'm not going on the highlight reel. Nice little pass between the legs, little nutmeg action with the bounce pass. Substitutions are plenty now. The teams making multiple changes all at once. Dubai will have possession on the sideline. 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Just a little pause at the scoring table. And the action back underway. Manolopoulos brings the ball up the court, guarded by Paul Peña.
Little miscommunication there with the mismatch. I mean, they did the switching, but they didn't talk. Again, it comes back to communication there. As I said, doesn't matter if you're up by 40 points, you just got to keep talking. One mistake, and Dubai just punished them right away with the 3-pointer.
Dare I say, if you do that when you're in a game where you're not leading by 40, a 2-point game, that can be defeat for you.
Definitely.
Strong layup, strong finish by Mohamed Keita, who's certainly been impressive here in this third period. In the lane, and it's Simon Gradin. He gets fouled down low. Foul called on Peña. Only the second foul in the period from Barcelona. They got fouls to give with a 1.5 minutes left.
Again, you don't want this to be a shooting foul. You got to foul just a couple seconds earlier when the ball is on the ground. It's just something that, it's a learning point for Peña as well. If there's a mismatch, just foul right away. As soon as the big guy catches the ball, you have foul to give, and just foul it right away. I think his coach now, they're probably talking about it. It's one thing that he can improve.
Okay, so we've got a big audience around the world watching this. You say foul before he becomes a shooting foul. What, in your mind, what are you thinking? You got the mismatch. As the ball's coming in, just give him a shove. What?
Well, if you asking me, I would probably stop it. Whoever was, there's no mismatch for me. So one thing defensively, I have a pride, and I'm not going to let him score, on top of me. But obviously, if there's a big guy and huge difference on the height, and you have foul to give, you foul it right before he takes the shot. So make sure that foul is on the ground.
Yeah.
And as young players, this is one thing that they can, improve their basketball IQ on this level, and just use the fouls wisely, not on the shooting action.
So what you're saying is shove him before he catches the ball.
As soon as he catches the ball and before he turn around and square up, you can foul it, and it's a great foul before bonus.
But you mentioned that a really important point there. You said you take great pride in your defense. So part of you is saying I can stop him, and so it's
don't foul then.
Yeah, but you saw this is the difficulty when you're 16, 17 years of age.
Yes.
It's hard to accept that you are anything but superhuman.
Exactly. So these are all learning points for them. This is where you make the mistakes and learn from it, and not to translate these mistakes in the next level. That's why these tournaments and finals are crucial for these guys.
Tom Vukovic commits the turnover. That's his first of the game. His team's 19th throwaway, just losing control on the drive. Barcelona will have possession, 6 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Peña, rare shoot attempt from him. That's called bodies banging. Kone going to the boards. And Gustav Viltans goes to the deck. So Dubai could hold for the final shot of the third period. It will be Johannes Wallace, closely guarded by Peña. Shot clock down to 5. Working off the dribble. Pulls the trigger from deep. Doesn't get the 3 to go. Offensive rebound by the turnovers are her as well. 19 turnovers for Dubai, 16 for Barcelona. So both teams could improve taking care of the basketball. Again, Barcelona with those 2 bigs out there looking to play high-low interior. Instead it's Gricic on the drive, gets the shot and converts. That's a difficult shot. And we keep going back to the value of training with the men's team that Gricic has had over the last couple of months. He's got the confidence to go in there and have no fear.
Yeah, it seems like the game has slowed down for him a little bit more when I see him from the last tournaments. He's doing a great job now, again, defensively and offensively, taking his time and coming with experience from the senior team and learning from his teammates in the Barcelona team. Definitely translates his game from senior team to juniors and doing a great job so far.
And then see another shot attempt from him there. Misses the 3. Defensive rebound for Dubai. We just missed an awesome finish from Manos Manolopoulos. We'll have to see that one again, I'm sure. As he goes in, battling for the rebound. This time he's not going to get around Seyon Keita. Barcelona pull themselves back together. They lead by 46 points. I'm sure our statisticians will have the record books out somewhere telling us the various records we need to look at. Good double team defensively. Nimaga forcing Seyon Keita into the turnover, and then in transition Simon Gradin looking for the foul, gets nothing. Here comes Gricic, drives down, and this time Keita is fouled in the act of shooting.
Dubai is definitely trying to double team the low post, but they're not used to playing with each other last couple weeks, and there's a timing difference. The double teams, it's really important. When a big guy just turns to the basket, you got to be there when he turns. If you're 1 second late, it's just the basket, and double team doesn't work. So they got to do a better job just getting there a few seconds earlier before he turns around.
Well, you mentioned that some of these teams have a few days, weeks to be together. It takes teams months, in some organizations years, to put their system in place, and then you have to adapt to it. So asking these young men to get it right first time, no surprise they have problems with, especially the talent that Barcelona has down low. I've been really impressed with Seyon Keita in this game so far, one of the leaders for that team.
Yeah, he's doing a great job, especially second half of the game, and doing a great job helping this Barcelona team.
And you see the demoralization for Dubai. 7 block shots, couple of intimidations. And now, when Nimaga gets the ball back, he doesn't want to shoot the ball, so he gives it to Manolopoulos, who's in trouble. They get the ball back. Be impressed with Manos Manolopoulos, the Greek point guard for Dubai. And here he goes, in possession. Shot clock under 10. Trying to feed down low.
Again, they find the right matchup, but they're settling for the shots. There was a mismatch now.
Well, and Pena, he's got that ego that you've got defensively. He said, I'm not going to foul. Didn't foul, and he got the air ball instead.
I like that, yeah. I like that. That's great. He's not making the same mistake twice, so it's great to see him doing it.
And forcing a turnover, the first 24-second violation we've had. Gricic working off the dribble. You can see that his composure is on the next level compared to the other players on the court. This is the three-point shot, but Bucievas, offensive rebound. You see they're always looking for the next pass.
That's why this execution is really
beautiful.
important. They always find the right guy, yeah.
And there's a finish we've been waiting for. The first real power slam. Great ball. That was all 5 players involved. Moving the ball around, passing, and then they get the finish they've been craving. Chance to show the athleticism. Defensive rebound off another shot that Biz well defended. San Keita puts the ball on the floor before the double team can get to him. Gricic. Whistle is blown. A foul is called on Manolopoulos. Looks like we've got multiple substitutions again. Yeah, the beautiful pass. That final pass of a great, well-executed, full offensive set, though.
Definitely, almost everybody touched the ball, and they found the open guy and finished under the basket. It was a great offense by Barcelona.
San Keita goes to 11 points, one of 4 players who've scored double figures. All of those are wearing the blue and garnet of Barcelona. Turnover again, but they steal it right back. Both teams sloppy with the basketball. That's one thing they've got in common today. Bucievas, strong drive on the baseline. Takes it to the basket, can't convert. Here comes Dubai. Open look in the corner. And the three-point is off, but there. Rebound from Gradin, and then Gricic just takes it away like he's stealing his lunch money in the playground. Offensive rebound. Ball will go back to Dubai. Bucievas couldn't get the shot to go. Then San Keita going after the offensive rebound. See the length, just the elevation there.
You see Barcelona still picking up full court.
Well, you said they can't get tired. You're only 17.
No,
So
they're using their bench as well, so there's no way they get tired. They can do this all day long.
Every player on Barcelona has had significant court time. The fewest minutes is Joan Omoruna, who's played 7 minutes so far. Dubai also have gone deep into their bench, but they are trailing by 49 points, 36. I guess in terms of psychologically, if you're Dubai, you'd like to see 50 points on the score sheet. And of course, for Barcelona, there's that psychological milestone of putting up 100. But if you can hold a team under 50 points at this level, that's an impressive defensive performance. It'll be a statement.
It really is. Keeping them below 50 points is huge, and it's a great boost for them to going into the tournament. Always next game is going to be tougher. So it's great seeing them doing a great job there defensively.
Gricic has all the time to get the three, and an unsportsmanlike foul has been called. I didn't see where that foul was committed. Did you spot that, Doge?
No, the referees are talking. I'm not sure what they're thinking, but we'll see what they come up with.
There was a lot of contact in the paint. The unsportsmanlike.
Maybe he went underneath.
Let's see. I think it's in the paint there. There's body on body. Did he step underneath him on the 3? I thought he was wide open. Well, I think, if anything, it looks like they've... Well, we'll keep a look. They've caught it on the Maga, and that, so indeed, yeah, he stepped underneath the shooter. And this is, again, one of the points of emphasis. When a three-point shooter releases the ball, if the defender steps underneath his feet, it's almost an automatic unsportsmanlike. Would you agree?
Well, yeah. Sometimes though the shooters, they jump forward, so it's just the judge of the referee. They gotta see real well.
Well, we see the play again here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough call. I'm not sure, but yeah.
He's landed on his foot,
yes.
Which is where...
You got to read it very well, because the shooters, sometimes they jump forward, so it can go either way. And Brucic made his second 3 in a row, shooting it well.
Isn't it always the way? He makes one and immediately makes another one. There's a blocking foul that's been called. Amaruna is slow to his feet, and when he stands up, he'll be welcomed by a foul against his name. Talking about Grujic now, 16 points personally, he's the leading scorer in the game. Gutierrez was the leading scorer at halftime, 13 points. Hasn't scored in the second half, but he hasn't played much either. To be fair, Coach Marino's used the full depth of his bench. Tomislav Vukovic misses the pull-up jump shot. Midway through the fourth period, Dubai just 2 points so far in the fourth. Defense by Huelves forcing the turnover. Well, one thing, if you want to try and highlight something with your players after the game for your Barcelona, you talk about how many turnovers they've had. They've thrown it away 19 times today.
Yeah, most of them are unforced turnovers, so you don't want, you really see your team having so many turnovers, especially the unforced ones. That's one thing that they need to really work on going into the next game.
Trying to make it up defensively. I have to say, they've done well at this end of the floor. They've only conceded 36 points. I like the way they play, everybody with their hands up the whole time.
Active hands, and they have the length, and they jump to the ball. They're doing a great job helping each other. They make fewer mistakes on defense, just miscommunication sometimes, but they really try hard on defensive end.
Well, Alionak draws the foul on the inbounds pass. Yeah, you see right away, Guille recognizes it was his mistake, losing his defensive assignment. So at least if you get it wrong, if you know you got it wrong and you own up, then there's a small token of forgiveness you might get from a coach.
Yeah, I mean, the coaches already know it's your fault, but admitting it is not a bad thing. Yeah, I mean, it's just the most important thing is not to make the same mistake twice. That's in the same game, especially, that makes coaches go crazy. Well,
Massamba Guille has had a good game so far, 12 points, 2 steals, and a couple of blocks as well. Got a couple of minutes left to try and correct that mistake he made. Again, the passing game. Yeah. Barcelona! Marana loves that finish. $25 assists for Barcelona now.
Yes, that's one thing that we need to really emphasize on the Barcelona team, how they share the ball, move it from one side to other side, and 25 assists is really amazing. That shows how they execute and share the ball. So many unselfish plays.
If you can keep 25 assists and get that turnover total down under 10, then the coach may even smile for you. What I do like about this, it's not just passing the ball, but they pass and then they move as well. Move yourself, move the basketball. It's the body movement is as important as the ball movement.
Yes, their spacing is really good. They're not being stagnant and keep moving. And obviously they're super organized and disciplined on offense. That reflects on the scoring table as well.
Dakary. Doucouré, moves his team to 39 points. Both teams still playing hard. And a foul is called if they're going to give that to Amath, and they do. Diop Amath picks up his second foul. Massembe Gueye with the baseline drive, and he will get free throws. There's the arm, gets him with the arm, gets him with the body. Takes a little second to take a deep breath on the floor after his defensive exploits, and then goes to the free throw line where he will shoot to his team now. 17 of 22 at the free throw line. So great all-round performance from Barcelona so far. Dubai, like I said, the psychological edge for them is to get, if they get to 50 points, they'll feel like they've improved in the second half, but they've really been under the cosh here in this fourth period. It's a 15-5 run in favor of Barcelona. Dubai doing anything to get an open look, and they end up shooting an air ball three, and here comes Barcelona. Gueye with the rebound, and they settle right back into that pass and move offense. Kone down low, easy basket for him. Well, if you think if you're Dubai, switching a guard onto Kone is almost like a death sentence.
Yes, because there's they do that, but there's no pressure on the ball that makes it, much easier to pass the ball to the mismatch. And if you switch, then you gotta press the ball. You gotta press the ball, make it harder for the. But yeah, I agree with you. There's a huge size difference.
Certainly paying the prices. Alyanak gets the layup, his first points of the second half, and well, Mohamed Keita hits the floor hard on the foul. Sometimes athleticism doesn't work in your favor. He goes to the sky. They're just coming down in a heap. I always say to people who don't know much about basketball, you have to understand it's such a contradiction in what you expect. The basketball court is relatively small, and you've got the biggest athletes in the world competing on it, trying to put a tiny basketball in one bucket, and so you get bodies going down. Have they elevated this one unsportsmanlike? Certainly looks that way.
They did, yeah. But these are dangerous plays. I know that it's not intentional, but you also got to know how to fall down and how to land on your feet. It's really important, and not to get hurt. Especially games like this when you're up by 40, 50 points. You just got to be more cautious going up. Well,
Mohamed Keita is saying maybe I didn't want an unsportsmanlike foul as he gets an air ball on the second free throw. And just to explain to our audience and our fans around the world, unsportsmanlike foul has nothing to do with intent. It's not about whether or not you intended to hurt somebody. So we had the Namaga stepping underneath Grujic. That time there, Huelves wasn't trying to hurt Keita. It's just if it's a dangerous play, violent conduct.
Right. Obviously, none of these.
Never intent.
There's nothing intentional. It's just the referees judge out of basketball move. That's something that you're not supposed to do.
Bucket converted there as the game winds down. Barcelona still playing with some level of intensity. Haven't broken that 100-point margin yet. Looking to do it on this time. Mohamed Dabone with the running floater. Kone offensive rebound, and he will go to the free throw line. Take your pick between Alyanak and Amath. They've called it on Anil Alyanak. Again, that's just pure size for the offensive rebound. Kone at the free throw line. 3 of 4 so far today. Make that 3 of 5. Just over 2 minutes left in this game. Dubai 39, Barcelona 101. Game was pretty much all over after the first quarter, but Dubai's improved in some areas, but offensively they've really struggled against this Barcelona defense.
They did. They didn't want to put the ball inside all game long, and maybe because of the Barcelona's length or the size, but they rely on three-pointers so much where they had a bad day shooting the ball behind the arc, so they made everything tougher for Dubai team against Barcelona.
It seemed that when they catch the ball on the wing, they're trying to play the offense instead of play the man. So it's like square up and attack off the drive. You say to get the ball inside. You haven't got to pass it into the post. You could beat somebody off the dribble. You could, you haven't just got to step back there and shoot threes. They've committed now.
They were too hesitant, I think. I don't know if it's the threat of blocking shots in the paint, but they were just not leaning towards going into the paint for some reason.
Yeah, and even when they're a shot blocker, sometimes the best way to take care of a shot blocker is go right at him. Don't wait for him to come from the weak side.
And use shot fakes. Once you get in the paint, go 2 feet plays and use your shot fake, pass fake to get fouls. But they haven't done a good job all day long.
Well, after Mahani, Kone, now 5 of 7 at the free throw line. Goes to 7 points total. Gets the roll, and that will be another point to his total. 6 of 8 at the line, Kone. 8 points, 6 rebounds. Interesting that Barcelona have out-rebounded Dubai by 16 in this game. Yeah, there's no big standout rebounder. The biggest rebounder in the game for them is Arturas Gutierrez, who we haven't seen in the fourth quarter. He's got 7. Double team, the big man. Kone with the steal. Shows some ball handling skills, the big fella. And he will go back to the line. Well, if he's got size, power, and a soft pair of hands, what a prospect this man could be for the future.
He reminds me of Yabusel a little bit, from Madrid, and now he plays in the NBA, obviously, with his size and the way he moves, definitely a big prospect.
Yeah, that's a great steal. Normally, when a big man gets a steal like that, the coach is screaming out, "Give it to the guard!" Well, he shows he's got some nifty ball handling skills. 9 points, and it's a really promising sign, especially for big man. I'm 2'8" myself, so I'm in the big man community club. But for a big man to get the 10 points and he's getting them all at the free throw line, that shows he's been doing the job that you want him to do.
Yes, it's huge for him, and using his size and strength, especially in the paint, and getting to the free throw line. And even though you kind of make a joke about this shimmy, but he made most of his free throws.
Look, as I said, if he's making them, I don't care if he drags it around his back, flips it in the air, kisses it first.
Exactly. He really did a great job on the free throw line as well.
Follow-up offensive rebound by Alniak. Anil Alniak now. First player for Dubai into double figures. He goes to 10 points as we hit the final minute of this game. Foul is called young Gustav Vilchans. And that's the drive to the basket that Dubai have not been able to get.
Right.
That's the kind of play that they could have done.
That's one thing that they were missing, and made a huge difference in the game. They were just settling for shots, so many shots, even in the mismatch situations. They would rather take the shots instead of going to attack the big guys. But I'm impressed with Alyanak as well. He's one guy who's trying to stand for his team, for Dubai. He's been dealing with the big guys from Barcelona all day long. So I thought he really tried.
We'll expect to see him get more court time in the remaining games for Dubai. They play against Super Belgrade tomorrow, and they close out against EA7 Milan. Barcelona was the other way. They play Milan tomorrow in the early game, and then they will close out against Mega. Vilchans with a 3, and well, the basket counts, but a foul has been called. Referee's going to have to decide if the foul was before or after the shot. The basket is counted, and the foul has been called on number 11. There you see underneath the basket, Miguel Bandaka.
Yeah, I think it's a good call. That was unnecessary move underneath, but again, nothing intentional. But referees caught it really on time.
Just to be clear, the three-point basket does count.
Yes.
The foul was after the shot. So Bandaka picks up the foul, and that will send Johan Amoruna to the free throw line.
Which is, again, it wasn't an offensive foul. It was during the rebound, so Barcelona get to shoot two free throws because of that.
Yeah, it's one of those rules that, well, that's our job to clear that mess up. Is in effect a defensive foul, which is why the free throws happen. Once the shot is gone, you're no longer on offense, so it's just a fight for the ball. So Dubai sitting on 46 points, having conceded 110. Alniak misses the triple. Guille with the rebound, and now shot clock is off.
That would do it.
Pena has a look at his coach and asks him what he has to do. The coach says run an offense. Ooh.
And that leads to a turnover.
I think Guille knew he got away with a carry.
He did, but ball didn't lie, you know. Yeah.
Well, how's about that? So, well, the turnover to close out the game, that's almost the story of the last 40 minutes, but it's a dominant performance from FC Barcelona. They take care of Dubai Basketball, the first game of the 2025 Adidas Next Generation.
Bây giờ sẽ ghi nhận đỗ nhá. Nên chúng ta sẽ có đỗ, xảo